good afternoon from Dongguan on the final day of the classification round. Japan take on Montenegro in Group O, with both teams searching for their first win at the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019. Well, Japan suffered a 30-point loss to New Zealand a couple of days ago, and they have never beaten European opposition at the World Cup, double-digit defeats in each of their previous 9 encounters. Today provides another opportunity for that record to be put to an end. Montenegro are playing at the World Cup for the very first time, and of course will be hoping to claim their first ever victory on this global stage. They ran Turkey very close on Saturday, leading for the vast majority of the contest before the Turkish turnaround in the final few minutes of the fourth quarter. Well, I'm Oscar Chamberlain, and a very warm welcome to Shona Thorburn, who is alongside me once again. Shona, having seen these two teams in action over the last couple of days, what did you make of them, and how do you see this contest unraveling?
I think right now this game is a lot more about pride and growing, because, you know, this is Montenegro's first World Cup. Obviously they want to go home with a good feeling, and how do you get that? You get a win on your last day of competition. That being said, the same goes for Japan. You know, they want to pull off a win. This is a team that maybe had a little bit higher expectations going into this tournament, especially with 2 NBA guys, you know, a newer coach in Coach Lama. So I don't think it's really been the tournament that they expected. And talk about Japan growing. I mean, they know that they're hosting the Olympics next summer, so they have about, 10 months to sort of figure out how they can compete with the best in the world. And this is, again, just another opportunity for them to take a look, for you know, the Japanese Basketball Federation to evaluate some players, really see what they need to work on moving forward, and especially into the Olympics next summer.
Well, that is certainly what is ahead for both of these teams. Montenegro with that desire to win their first ever game on this stage. And as you say, Japan will be looking ahead to the Olympics. They've been looking for improvement. The coach actually mentioned the fact that he would like to see his side get a victory against European opposition, which they could achieve here with a victory over Montenegro. This is what the schedule of the day looks like. This is our first of 2 games here at the Dongguan Basketball Center. Turkey taking on New Zealand. That will be a battle for top spot in this group. And there is still some Olympic qualifying spots to be determined as well, certainly in terms of the qualifying tournament, which will take place before the Olympic Games. That is to come. Montenegro and Japan just a couple of moments away. We'll pause first for the national anthem, and then the action will begin.
First, the national anthem of Montenegro.
首先奏黑山国歌。
The national anthem of Japan.
奏日本国歌。
Please be seated.
请坐下。
Please thank our one-level champions as they leave the court.
So one of these teams will end the tournament without a 100% loss record, certainly something both teams will be looking to avoid. Montenegro qualifying in dramatic circumstances. They have shown an immense amount of pride in their performances. The results haven't quite gone their way. They were in command for much of that game against Turkey a couple of days ago. As far as Japan are concerned, Ilya Lamas there in your picture, be hoping to see a bit more, particularly in the defensive performance of his team. Certainly something that he focused on a lot. And Shona just looking ahead to this game as we see the refereeing team here. Sergei Zashchuk of the Ukraine, Michal Prok of Poland, and Kim Jong-kook of South Korea. It was a good performance from Montenegro for the most part. They led pretty much for the whole game. Turkey did turn it on a bit more in the closing minutes, but they did come so close, and lots of positives to take from that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you're the Montenegrin coach, there were a lot of very good things to take away. I think the last 3 minutes, like you said, Turkey kind of put on the pressure. I thought you saw a good performance, especially from that guy right there, Nikola Vesovic, you know, their NBA guy. Derek Needham had some pretty big threes for them in the third quarter. You know, Popovic, just throughout the course of the game, they played well. They just weren't able to put it all together and put Turkey away. So that's a little bit disappointing. You know, I just talked about that man right there. You know, he's only averaging 13.8 points, but he had 20 points 2 days ago. So he is the leader. I mean, he's a star in the NBA. You expected him to be a star here. Hasn't been playing as many minutes as some might have thought. He played 31 in the last game, but up until then, he was just averaging about 20 a game. So, you know, but that's a positive. He got involved. He got involved early, which I really like. And for them to pull off a win today, I think they need to go to him from the start of the game and then maybe spread it out after that.
We can have a look at the starting five now for Japan, and there's one name that does jump out in terms of players who are not here, and that's Hachimura. He missed the last game. He's not going to be involved today. But Nick Fazekas was someone who really impressed. He'd scored 31 points, had a huge impact on the game. He looked like he was struggling with an injury, came to the press conference with his ankle in a bag of ice, effectively, and he doesn't look too good today, but he was so good a couple of days ago, and he's going to have to put in a big performance again.
Yeah, you're right. You know, averaging 15.5, but like you said, it was really that. He had 24 points at half, finished with 31 in the game. He had played a lot of minutes, but they needed him to. He was the only one who could score. And I talked about this Japanese team. I mean, it's disappointing Hachimura is not here because I'm a big fan of his and I really wanted to see him live. But this also gives Japan and some other players and the coaches an opportunity to step up and contribute, because you can't win with one or two players. So I think as far as development and seeing where Japan is and where their other players kind of are on this world stage level, it's a good thing that Hachimura is not playing, because then they don't rely on him. So, you know, this is their opportunity. Someone's going to play more minutes now because he's not here.
Well, there's Zvezdan Mitrovic, the head coach of Montenegro. He was a little dejected in the press conference after the defeat to Turkey, understandably so, because they really did come so close to winning. Was there anything in that performance that you think maybe let them down in the closing stages, or was it more a case of Turkey kind of raising their game when it really mattered?
Turkey raised their game, absolutely, especially in those last 3 minutes. But it was turnovers near the end of the game, in my opinion, for Montenegro. You know, they finished the game with 18. It's not horrible, but it's not good either. The best teams in the world are only averaging about 10, 12 turnovers a game, and really, it was the defensive pressure that Turkey put on Montenegro, and they did not get, I would say, an easy look in the last 3 minutes of that game. So you have to know that teams are aggressive. They're aggressive defensively. How do you counter that attack? And Montenegro were not able to handle it.
And that aggressive defense is something that Japan have been lacking, so that's what their coach will be looking for them from this game.
Yeah, you know, we've heard him say this all tournament that he needs them to be more tough, basically. You know, play more aggressive, be more tough. He kind of, a lot of times in that game against New Zealand, he was questioning their desire. So we'll see if they bring that here today.
We're just about ready to get underway in Dongguan. Japan and Montenegro playing their last game at the 2019 FIBA World Cup.
Stay normal. Stay normal. Stay on. Let's go. You okay?
So it is action from the final game day as far as the classification rounds are concerned. Olympic qualification not on the line for these two teams in terms of that qualifying tournament. Obviously Japan will be there anyway. Montenegro aren't going to finish in the top 23, which would guarantee them a spot at the qualifying tournament. Playing for pride, the first ever win on this global stage.
And you know, it was a surprise Montenegro made this tournament as far as, you know, European teams going. I mean, them qualifying was a very big deal for the small nation that Montenegro is.
Japan looking to get some early points on the board. Watanabe comes inside and puts away the 2 to get Japan up and running. He could be a big player for them over the course of the game. Vucevic, so impressive, particularly in the first half against Turkey. Watanabe, drawn the foul. Averaging 11 points a game, Watanabe. Another who plays in the NBA, of course.
Yeah, it's just one of 2 players who play outside of Japan during the professional season, and you know, that's kind of what Coach Lamas of Japan was saying. You know, he wants to see someone that maybe a few more players play outside to just learn or grow from the other leagues in the world.
Montenegro still looking for their first points. Radoncic now to Bjelica, and the 3-point attempt no good. Radoncic has it again. Needham, he'll go for the 3, and he gets it. Derek Needham off the mark. Another player who can have a big say on proceedings here. It's for Zekas. Tanaka. Popovic almost dealing with that. Vucevic does deal with it. Excellent block. Keep the difference at just 1. Here is Needham and Vucevic. Good combination, good finish. Made the layup look easy there. Nikola Vucevic, and he is off the mark. Montenegro lead. Watanabe. Zekas puts up a 3. Can't get it to go. He barely missed in the first half against New Zealand.
Yeah, he was very impressive, especially from 3-point range. He was 5 for 5 in that first half. And they were doing well, and then Coach, you know, took him out in the second quarter to give him a little bit of a breather, and I think he was only out for about, what, a minute and a half until, all right, no one else was scoring, they had to go back in.
Radoncic drives inside, puts it up, banks it in. Montenegro on a bit of a run here, 7 points without reply. Ando looking to respond here for Japan. Bjelica this time with the block. He claims the rebound as well. Montenegro getting a foothold in this game here. Needham. Vucevic gets the 2. He's starting to fire nice and early.
Yeah, you kind of wonder what Montenegro maybe could have done if they did go to him a little bit earlier on in this tournament.
Certainly had his best performance against Turkey in the last game. And there's Fazekas getting his game up and running. Vucevic. Bielica. Derek Needham. Good hold there by Bielica, who banks in the 2. And Montenegro on an 11-point run now. 11-2 in the last few minutes. Japan having taken a 4-point lead. Did he get that shot away in time? I don't think he did. More frustration for Japan. Good defense from Montenegro. That's another block, Bielica. 3 blocks already from Montenegro in this game. Derek Needham goes for the 2 and backs it in. Nothing but net from Derek Needham. 5 points for him at the start of the game.
And just a great aggressive start from Montenegro, really.
2 assists as well for Needham. Everything coming through him at the moment. Takiuchi. Fazekas. Takiuchi is another rejection. Montenegro just too strong for Japan at the moment. Bielica with his second block of the game. 4 blocks already for Montenegro in the opening 5 minutes. Vucevic drains it. 2 more for him. Timeout called here. Japan already finding themselves in trouble. Montenegro have started really brightly.
Yeah, you mentioned it. It was a great start from Montenegro, but I don't think it's a good start, especially defensively or offensively from Japan. I mean, we saw them play at a higher level in the last game. They just come out a little slow-footed. You saw the stats there. Montenegro already with 4 blocks. They've only averaged 2 blocks per game in this tournament leading up to this game. So, you know, I think it's a sign of Japan not being aggressive enough, not moving enough, not moving the ball enough on offense, but defensively, they're also not making things difficult.
Watanabe's 3-point attempt, no good. Vucevic claiming the rebound. Offensive foul called. Bielica, player who is penalised. Montenegro with a 9-point lead. Yajima. Fazekas. Nice bounce pass. Another rejection. Radomcic this time. Oh, and again! Back-to-back blocks from Radomcic, and here come Montenegro with Popovic, who lays it up and in off the glass. And that's just the story of the game so far.
It is. I mean, great defense. And I understand, you know, Japan are trying to be aggressive and attack, but you also have to be smart. You know, this Montenegrin team's a little bit taller than they are, so what do you do?
We get the ball to Fazekas because he can do some damage. Doubles his tally. Popovic. This is Needham. Pass out to Radoncic. Vucevic steps back for the long two. Can't get it to go. 6 blocks from Montenegro, 3 of them from Radoncic in this first quarter. And this is going to be a trip to the foul line here for Yuta Watanabe. Scored half of Japan's points so far. Second foul of the game for Radoncic. Well, he knocks down the 2 free throws. Bjelica. Needham. Popovic. And Needham for 3. It's no good. Watanabe underneath it. He got the final touch. And Montenegro can keep the pressure up here. To Petar Popovic. Popovic weaving his way through. Shajovic goes for it and drains the 3-pointer. Opens up a double-digit lead for Montenegro.
And that's just too easy. You know, defensively, you have to be able to have one-on-one coverage, not allow a penetration. If people do come and help, that's what you get.
And a steal there from Bjelica. Finds Popovic. Back to Bjelica again. Needham waiting on the outside. Bjelica trying to use his strength to force his way in. Montenegro unable to make the most of the turnover there as Watanabe puts one up and he gets it to go. 8 points for him. And if Fazekas is struggling with that injury, then Watanabe is going to be crucial for them. Needham, Vucevic. Gets it. Another 3-pointer. Nikola Vucevic. Already with 9 points to his name, picking up where he left off a couple of days ago.
You know, I thought Watanabe kind of had an off game in the last game against New Zealand too. He only had 9 points, and he was averaging double digits before that. He still is averaging double digits, but you know, like I said, top teams in the world, you have probably 4 or 5 players being able to score in double figures. In Japan, it was really Hachimura who's the only player who's doing that for them. So, you know, that's something that they need to fix.
Needham just kept alive by Bjelica as Popovic goes for another 3. Fazekas with the rebound. Into the final minute of the first quarter, an 11-point lead. The bounce pass into Fazekas, who gets round Vucevic. Can't get it to go though. And Takeuchi does make it count. Keeps Japan ticking along. There's Petar Popovic. Had a lot of opposition there. Final touch off Fazekas that time.
No.
24 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Bjelica. Todorovic makes it and draws the foul. Super play from Marko Todorovic. Then he just checked into the game. using his strength here and drawing the foul. So 12 points now. Final few seconds.
A smart strategical foul from Montenegro. Trying to take away anything easy for Japan.
First foul of the game for Derek Needham. Hijima puts up the shot and gets it. Needham launching one as the buzzer goes for the end of the first quarter. Japan have cut the lead to 10, courtesy of Hijima there. And it's a good-looking lead for Montenegro, just as they were 2 days ago. They are up by 10 at the end of the first, 26-16.
There we have the field goals, 61% overall, 73% compared to just 40% from two-point range. I mean, I think Montenegro have just come out and taken control of this game early. I think it started on defense. I really think they have done a good job making things difficult. I mean, they already have 6 block shots at the end of 10 minutes, so that's, you know, kind of unheard of. That's what teams average for an entire game. So, you know, to have that be your first quarter, and they're also shooting the ball well, which really helps. You know, if you're Japan, I mean, right now they look tired. They look tired. I think they're trying to be aggressive, but here, you know, they're just forcing it. I mean, it's kind of an easy block. It's easy defensively to play against a team that's doing that. And on the defensive end for Japan, they're letting penetration happen way too easy, and they're having to rely on help coming. And Montenegro, you know, especially their guards, I think they're just too good and too talented, and you know, they're going to find people who are open because defense has had to come and help. So yeah, there's a lot of little things that Japan could do better, and I think, you know, if they do those better in the second quarter, they can bring back this 10-point lead, make it a little bit of a closer game.
And the problem for them is that it's just kind of the same old problems. But as you can see, you can download the official app for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Download it for free, keep up to date with all the news, all the highlights. There is Nikola Vucevic. Good start for him. 3 rebounds, 9 points, a block as well. Making a big contribution early on, just as he did in the game against Turkey. And just as they were in the game against Turkey, Montenegro lead by 10 as we get the second quarter underway. There's Tanaka. Fazekas. Get another chance here. Todorovic able to dispossess him. Ivanovic, and just working their way through with such ease. Cehovic opting not to take the shot on, still plenty of time here. Dubljovic, and Cehovic unable to make it count. Baba. Watanabe. Still Watanabe, puts up a shot, gets it, 2 more for him. It's been a bright start from Watanabe. It's certainly a big improvement on his own personal performance a couple of days ago, double digits already.
But again, you know, looking forward to next year's Olympics, he is someone who is going to have to play well and have to score in double digits for this Japanese team.
Ivanovic. A shot for 3 from Suad Cehovic. No good. Might get another chance here. He does. Goes for the 3. Can't get it to go. Watanabe. He draws the foul. Todorovic there with a block on Fazekas. Block tally just keeps on rising for Montenegro, 7 now. Japan have cut the lead by a couple of points since the start of the second quarter. Montenegro yet to add to their tally. Very different five on the court, none of the starters coming out for the second quarter. Baba able to draw the foul. He will go to the line for a couple of free throws. Another couple of changes for Japan, and we're seeing Fazekas go off quite early in this second quarter here. Masuke Takeuchi taking his place.
I mean, I think he obviously was a bright spot for Japan in that New Zealand game, even though they lost. But you know, we mentioned at halftime he had 24 points. He played over 18 minutes in that first half, and you know, I said, can he keep up playing those kind of minutes at the international level? And sure enough, I think it affected his second half a little bit. Turkey played better on him defensively. So there's no surprise seeing him coming out now, maybe get a few more minutes, finish the quarter.
But also he's clearly not 100%. I mean, he's fit enough to play, but he was struggling, and it was clearly he was clearly in pain in the press conference a couple of days ago, and
something is definitely bothering him. He's not moving, I'm sure, as well as he would like.
Well, that one will not count. Offensive foul called. It's just been a little bit of a sluggish start for Montenegro in this second quarter. It allowed Japan to close that gap a little bit. And Coach Mitrovic resting his starters at the beginning of this second quarter. Yajima. Watanabe goes for the long two and gets it. A bit more belief and intention about Japan at the moment. It's a 4-point game. Suat Sejovic. Ivanovic. Sead Sejovic. Goes for the three-point attempt, it's no good. Yudai Baba claiming the rebound. Moving it up quickly to Hijima. And to Watanabe. Still Watanabe, spins away, gets the shot. Can't quite make it drop. Top scorer in the game at the moment with 12. Still Montenegro look for their first points of the second quarter. Todorovic. Ivanovic. Dubiljevic. No good again. None from 5 from the field in this second quarter so far. Montenegro as Watanabe lays up another one. He really has come to the party today. 14 points for him. And Japan have closed the gap to just 2.
Yeah, he's been averaging 11 points in this tournament. Like I said, he only had 9 points in their last game. And I mean, he was 6 of 6 from his free throw line. He was only 1 for 7 shooting in that game. So that's why he really ended up with the 9 points. And today, you know, fans are lucky because they're kind of getting to see, you know, maybe why he was drafted, and he is considered NBA talent. There you see the shooting percentages. 45 compared to just 67. 3 of 11, but 0 for 3 for Japan, 3-pointers.
Marco, come, don't go. Don't go. Make a mistake. If not, they stop. You go. And you receive and drive. Okay, and keep playing. You play this, you play the ball. Okay? We can play these two. Ready. Marco, you got 2 fouls. Give me 1 more minute.
Well, great contribution from Watanabe so far. He's having to step up today.
He really has a great looking jump shot, especially for lefties. Not all of them, there are definitely some great left-handed shooters and their shot looks good as well, but I feel more often than not their shot is a little bit more unorthodox than righties.
That's a Popovic. Going all the way on his own, gets the pass out to the corner. It's no good. Still Montenegro without registering a single point in this second quarter. No surprise to see Derek Needham back on court for Montenegro, and it has been turned over here. And this is Needham taking charge. Popovic. Todorovic spins away, can't get the layup to go. And again, it's unsuccessful from Montenegro.
0 for 7 now in this quarter. And they've had open looks. I don't necessarily think it's the defense of Japan that is affecting them as much, that they're just missing.
Baba would have given Japan the lead. He wasn't able to make it count. Needham. Here's Todorovic. He does draw the foul. And they will get the chance to get some points on the board. Going to bring Bielitsa back as well. Oh, 2 for 2. Montenegro just open up a 4-point lead again. Tanaka. This is Kosuke Takeuchi. Ando. Watanabe. Makes it. Super shooting from Watanabe so far today. Keeping Japan very much in the contest.
Yeah, I thought Kazikis' performance against New Zealand in the first half, his 24 points was pretty outstanding, but I mean, Watanabe already 16 points, there's still 4.5 minutes left. Looks good, he's being aggressive, he's not settling for outside jump shots or outside shots from 3. Attacking this Montenegrin defense off the dribble, going to his pull-up.
6 from 9 from the field overall, as the layup is put away expertly there by Bielitsa. There'll be another trip to the line here for Japan. Svestan Mitrovic looks on. A little frustrated that his team have let such a big lead slip. Watanabe's free throw shooting has been good as well. 5 from 5 so far. And they make that 6 from 6. 2-point game again. There's another foul. Derek Needham. Bounce pass into Bielica. Spins away and gets it to go.
Good job by Montenegro after that timeout. Be a little bit more aggressive. They're sort of attacking the basket, looking for shots on the inside instead of settling for outside shots.
Baba found his path blocked and then traveling called against him. And 6 turnovers from Japan in this first half so far. Twice as many as their opponents. Needham. Lievich. Can't get it to go. Watanabe. Steps back, it's gone for the 3 this time, it's no good. His 3-point shooting, really the only thing letting him down today. Oh, and here comes Ando for Japan for 3. He can't get it to go either. They have missed all their 3-point attempts so far. None from 6. Takeuchi back on the bench. Fazekas taking his place on court. As it's turned over, and the open court, the easy layup. Seiya Ando makes it a 2-point game again.
They thought it was a little bit of a kick ball there.
Let's have another look here. Hard to tell from that angle. And that was the foul. It's called on Needham.
It was a technical foul on the coach. Yeah.
There you go. Watanabe making it count again. His free throw shooting has been exceptional, 7 from 7.
He's shooting 87.5% from the free throw line in this tournament, so clearly a good shooter. I just think, you know, our first opportunity seeing him live, he probably didn't have the best game. But again, without, you know, the Hachimura, probably the most famous basketball player right now in Japan.
3-point attempt, no good for Civic underneath it. He makes such a big difference on court. Needham for 3, it's no good. And Montenegro just keep on winning it back, and eventually they get it to go. Bielica just ensuring that Montenegro stay in front. 3-point lead. Ando, Watanabe. Popovic Lays it up, gets it. Timeout has been called here. Montenegro have just edged a little bit further ahead now. It's a 5-point lead. So we see this from Popovic again, 36-31.
I think really it's just a good job from Montenegro and the Montenegro players. They called the timeout 3 minutes ago. And since then, they've just been a lot more aggressive. They're not settling for outside jump shots because they were, what, 0 for 8 to start the second quarter, and it was shots from the outside.
Mistake of Chuko because don't defend the ball. Okay, thinking the pick and roll and don't stop the drive. No. This offense, don't call. We play safe. Right in the first side. It is easy to pass. Take the screen to the ball. Come here. Nothing. This pick and roll. Utah pick and pop out and defense and different rebound. Hey, play attack with the number 4.
Well, just over a minute and a half left in the first half. Japan will be pretty happy with the way things have worked out in this second quarter. They managed to halve the deficit. Just a few signs, though, that Montenegro are starting to regain control. Hijima. Fazekas. Couldn't get the shot away. It's out to Watanabe. And he goes for the long two and drains it. That's a Popovic. Floats it up, can't get it to go. Montenegro keeping it alive. Needham. It's a good pass and the finish. The flush from Bielica. All about the creativity of Derek Needham. Once again, his 6th assist of the game.
Only averaging 4.3 coming into this game.
It's been turned over again. Popovic, oh, look at that. Look at that from Petar Popovic. Super finish. And Montenegro just flexing their muscles here in the closing stages of the half. There's Watanabe. Floats one up, can't get it to go. A lot of Japan's good work undone there in the last 30 seconds or so. As the half-time buzzer goes. Great bit of skill from Popovic. And the reverse layup to finish as well. Japan have managed to cut the lead a bit in that second quarter, but a late surge from Montenegro means that they lead at the break. It is 40 points to 33.
And there you see the shooting percentages, 47 compared to 40%. Japan not yet hitting a three-pointer. They haven't taken that many though, but look at that second chance point, 13 to 8. And bench scoring also 10 for Montenegro compared to just 4 for Japan. So really, I think it's who was more aggressive in that first half, and defensively and offensively it was Montenegro. There you see the leading scorers. I mean, definitely a positive for Japan is that 21 points. That being said, no one else has really stepped up and helped score for Japan in other positions. And I mean, really, 7 block shots for Montenegro already and 8 turnovers for Japan. So if you just cut those in half, for Japan, how many more opportunities do they have to score? But really, I just think, you know, we've heard it, and obviously the players have heard it because Coach Lamas of Japan keeps talking about it. They just need to be more aggressive. They need to play with a little bit more fight. You know, you and I, we've seen some battles been played here at this 2019 World Cup, and Japan just aren't the battling kind of team. I think they would rather play finesse, but you know, at this level, you have to be able to fight, you have to be able to battle.
Well, they'll need to try and produce that in the second half here as they look to overturn this deficit. Montenegro have the lead just as they did a couple of days ago. Can they hold on this time to their first ever World Cup victory? We'll be back in a few minutes with the second half. Montenegro leading Japan here by 40 points to 33.
Hey everyone, Kobe Bryant. I'm so excited that the special project I've been working on, called the Wizard Series Training Camp, is finally available for pre-order. It is the original story of 5 young basketball players, one enlightening coach, and the awesome transformative power of the game of basketball.
FIBA 篮球世界杯官方功能饮料，喝乐虎提神抗疲劳。乐虎2019FIBA 篮球世界杯官方功能饮料。乐虎2019FIBA 篮球世界杯官方功能饮料，喝乐虎提神抗疲劳。乐虎2019FIBA 篮球世界杯官方功能饮料。
丰收葡萄酒。庆祝每一次丰收之乐，让我们畅享丰收时刻。
Young Foundation is a non-profit organization founded by Yali in 2008. It's dedicated to aid underprivileged and rural children in China and help them develop in various ways. As as the official video partner of the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup, your foundation launched the Dream Journey project to let rural children take part of the joy of this tough basketball event. 游戏厅是由姚明于2008年发起，本着以体育人的宗旨，致力于促学新教，促进青少年健康成长的公益组织。作为2019国际篮联篮球世界杯官方公益合作伙伴，姚戏厅发起圆梦之旅项目，让乡村的孩子共享一起篮球盛会的喜悦。Okay, fans, let's direct attention to the video board for some outstanding plays from King on all our campuses. Let's take a look. 现在请大家看完转移到大屏幕，观看昨天的5加镜头。
Back out to Jan now, leads his man on the floor and throws it down.
Now we've got a Chinese poster.
Rodriguez, good back up.
Back out to Jan now, leads his man on the floor and throws it down.
Now we've got a Chinese poster.
Rodriguez, good back up. Stand the floor and add yourself to the highlight reel, my friend.
Alexander Franklin getting what he deserved. He catches, he streaked down the floor.
To Claver. Claver, nice back pass into Willie Hernan Gomez. Oh my words.
What a move, what a drive initially. Nice job by Claver.
They're only up by 5. There's the pick and a pick and roll. And Delia with the basket with the one hand. What a perfect execution of a pick and roll. Oh boy, you like that.
Oh, did you see that? Matu throws it down.
But this Nigeria team just keeps attacking the rim.
My parents gave me away, so I had no purpose in this life. Yeah. When you educate a woman, you educate a nation. It's a quote from Nelson Mandela, by the way.
Well, welcome back to Dongguan. Second half here is just a few minutes away. Montenegro leading Japan at the halfway stage by 40 points to 33. They raced into a 10-point lead at the end of the first quarter. It was a good fight back from Japan. And then just in the closing moments of that second quarter, the Montenegrin side found a little bit extra and managed to pull away once again to lead by 7 at this stage. Shona, what have you seen from Japan and from Montenegro in the first half here that's a little bit better or a little bit different to what we saw a couple of days ago?
I think the standout performance for Japan so far has to be Watanabe. He's been great for them. 21 points, 7 to 12 shooting. He has played the whole 20 minutes. He is young though, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him play 40 minutes in this game. You know, I thought Japan did a good job. Montenegro came out and played great in the first half. You know, they were up 10, scored 26 points in that, in the first quarter, scored 26 points in that first quarter. And I thought Japan did a good job of kind of calming down and were a little bit more aggressive in that second quarter. But they also let it go a little bit, I would say even just like the last 45 seconds of that quarter, and that's when Montenegro were able to pull away again. And then, you know, there's that guy, Nikola Vucevic for Montenegro, and 9 points already, 6 boards. It's kind of funny because when you watch him play, and if you've seen him play before, and if you follow NBA basketball, it seems as though he's kind of only going at about 50% here, but he's still that good and affects the game that much that, you know, he has 9 points when I feel like he's not playing 100%. I mean, this is a guy in the NBA who averages 20-plus points and 10-plus rebounds a game. So if he can do that there, you would imagine he could do it also at the World Cup. Montenegro, great start for them. I thought that they came out well. They were shooting the ball well, but they were also very aggressive defensively, getting steals, block shots, and then just able to run and attack. And everyone was really scoring. They were scoring inside and outside. Started that second quarter not so great. They were settling for shots. They were open shots, definitely, but they weren't going in. And then, you know, coach called a timeout, and they started to attack the basket a little bit more. And then there you see the stats, and, you know, his averages, 21 points today, only averaging 11, so clearly he's shooting a lot better, and he is, you know, a bright spot for a Japanese team that haven't had a great 20 minutes, but they have 20 more minutes to hopefully try and get a win. And, you know, after this, they're going to step back and prepare because they know that they're going to be playing in next summer's Olympics. And then as far as your, you know, Montenegro, you're playing for your country, you're playing for pride right now, and you're trying to get the first ever World Cup victory, which that'll feel great. You know, they let one slip away the other night playing Turkey, so I'm sure they were disappointed and thought, you know, that they should have had that, and especially to get a win over Turkey. So now it's their opportunity to try and get their first win ever at a FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Just touching on Watanabe again, he's really stepped up today. You know, we didn't see much of him a couple of days ago. And they're without Hachimura, and you mentioned that they really need their big players to come to the fore when things get tough, or in any situation really. How encouraging is it that now, you know, the responsibility is on him? We saw Fazekas take that responsibility a couple of days ago. He looks like he's not quite right. He's certainly not having the impact that he had in the last game. But it's really encouraging for this great young player that he's, you know, today's like, okay, well now it really is down to me, and he's really producing.
No, I like it. You have to feel good if you're the coaching staff for Japan, and you know, if he can have 21 points in a half of a World Cup game, he's going to go back. He's going to go back to the NBA. He's going to improve even more. So I think that's just a good sign. You know, you mentioned he is a good young player. Went to university in the U.S. He has a really, really bright future, and you know, that it's definitely a big spot for Japanese basketball fans, you know, moving forward.
And we're just about ready to get underway in the second half. Can Montenegro see this through and get their first ever World Cup win? Or will Japan turn things around? So underway in Dongguan. Here in the third quarter, Montenegro up by 7, 40 points to 33. Playing in the red, of course, Japan in the white. As Ivanovic looks to make an early impact. Todorovic winning it back again for the Montenegrins, and at the second attempt, Ivanovic is able to make it count. Picked up an injury in the first stage, and meant that he missed the third game of that opening round, but did come back off the bench. Fazekas draws the foul.
I don't read Japanese. but I'm sure that said something very nice. The fans of the Japanese team who made the trip here.
Good work again from the free throw line from Japan. 11 from 11 so far. Doncic. Ivanovic out to Needham, three-point attempt. Fazekas claims the rebound.
We saw Japan go back into a 2-3 zone there. We didn't see them play zone in the first half.
Nando's drawn a foul. Another opportunity from the line here. First free throw missed by Japan in this game. It's Derek Needham for Montenegro. Ivanovic, Needham, three-point attempt. Once again misses. Another rebound claim by Fazekas. And here come Japan once more with Baba spinning away and getting it to go in off the glass. Needham, Ivanovic. That's been a little more aggressive from Japan at the start of the second half.
Yeah, you know, anytime a team gets to the basket or the free throw line, it usually means that you are being aggressive offensively, so that's a good sign for Japan. You know, they've gone to a zone, so that's something that they've switched up after halftime.
Doncic taken away by Fazekas, the steal, and here's Watanabe out to Yudai Baba, can't get it to go. Would have made it a one-point game had he managed to drain that one. Ivanovic. Todorovic battling with Fazekas. Pass just about made it out to Needham. Long three attempted, no good. Watanabe with the rebound. Again, Montenegro a little slow to get going here in this quarter. Watanabe again. He's drawn the foul. Big play from Watanabe. And what has been a big performance already.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, just a great job by Japan early in this third quarter to come out aggressively. Montenegro still with that 2-point lead. We have seen Japan on made baskets go back into a zone. And, you know, the thing that you give up in a zone is usually three-point shots, outside shooting. But at halftime, Montenegro are only 3 of 14. Now they're 3 of 17, so they have forced Montenegro into three-point shot attempts, and they've missed every single one of them. So it's kind of, you know, that's the risk you take playing zone defense. And so far for Japan, it's paying off for them.
Julio Lamas, the head coach of Japan, was talking about tactical approach in the press conference a couple of days ago, and he was quick to point out that they will try lots and lots of different approaches, defensively and offensively, just trying to find the right balance in this side. It's very much a building.
They're still building for next
absolutely
summer, right? Yeah.
He's trying to put everything in place as Ivanovic goes for the two, can't get it to go. Montenegro have it back once again. Ivanovic into the corner for three. It's good. Much needed for Montenegro. Suat Sehovic. His second three of the game. Takeuchi Yudai Baba. Fazekas banks in the two. In that kind of position with that amount of time, he's never going to miss.
No, I mean, if he has any type of open look, I feel like since the last game, Fazekas does not miss.
It's now a 2-point game. Crucial three-pointer there from Suacehovic. Japan back to within 2. Ivanovic. Vucevic. Couldn't get it to go. It's Watanabe. Oh, goes all the way. Throws it down with a huge dunk, which ties the game. Watanabe. What a performance.
He's exciting to watch. I mean, he has a lot of skills. His ability to take it to the basket like we just saw, and he broke down the defender. Here we get to see it. He rejects the on-ball screen and just takes it baseline, going right-handed too, which is his offhand. We've seen him do a great job getting to his jump shot, his pull-up, and he can also knock down threes.
Ivanovic trying to give Montenegro the lead again. A blood injury here, I think, for Watanabe. Another little look at what he did a few moments ago. 26 points. Ivanovic does make the second to give Montenegro a 1-point lead. Fazekas. Sayerando. Now turned over here, and Petar Popovic trying to get away, wasn't able to. Good recovery that by Ando. Takeuchi tries to barge his way through, too aggressive, offensive foul call. Watanabe getting treatment over on the bench. He is desperate to get back out there.
They are desperate for him to get back out there as well.
Vucevic. Pass almost going astray. It's been kept alive here by Montenegro. Suacehovic did well with the pass. It's another missed three-point attempt. And here come Japan. Yudai Baba looking to go all the way. He's drawn the foul. And 2 from the line. Almost a three-point play possibility for him. Still the chance to give Japan the lead for the very first time in the game. He makes the second to tie it once more. Petar Popovic. Popovic leaving it for Ivanovic, who finishes off. 5 points for him. Montenegro back in front, they lead by 2. Takeuchi. Udai Baba. Baba's gone for the 3. Here Montenegro again. Bjelica. Link back to get the 2-point attempt away, draining it. They've just re-established a little bit of control here, Montenegro. Settled things down in the last few minutes. Yajima looking for Zekas. It's been turned over and it could be punished here, Japan. Surcehovic, now Vucevic, Popovic. Not this time. Montenegro unable to extend that advantage. Just a couple of missed opportunities there from Japan.
I can't imagine we see that man on the bench for much longer for this Japanese team.
Scored 26 of their 46 points so far. When it comes to Ando, puts up the shot. Oh, he's got it. Draws the foul as well.
Good job by Japan today. They're 14 of 16 so far from the free throw line, shooting 88%. In this tournament, they've only averaged 69% from the free throw line, shooting just over 19 attempts a game. So they've done a good job there.
Well, he gets the extra. It's a 1-point game. Ivanovic. Will drop. He's done a good job in this third quarter of just keeping Montenegro's noses in front. Here, Jima. Takeuchi with time to go for the 3. Can't get it to go on that occasion. And there's a 3-point lead for the European side. Vucevic, and again, still Vucevic using all of his strength. Made it look effortless. Into double digits once more. Yajima goes for the long 3.
Yeah, you mentioned that Vucevic really makes every possession look effortless when he wants to. And, you know, like I mentioned, he has that NBA experience, went to university in the U.S. as well. Actually went to prep school in the U.S. also.
3-point attempt is no good. Watanabe back in the action and looking to have another big impact on this game. And he goes all the way, draws the foul. He's such a handful. He'll go to the foul line again. He's been perfect so far. 8 from 8 he's hit.
You know, like we mentioned, again, these games don't necessarily mean much for the future for these two programs, the near future, sorry, but we know that Japan are going to be playing in the Olympics next year because they are hosting. Montenegro, this is their first World Cup, and, you know, to get your first World Cup win, to be a part of history, really, would be a very a very cool thing to kind of have on your resume.
Oh, what a vital three that could be. Bojan Dubljevic making no mistake at all. Just when Montenegro needed to step it up a gear, they have managed to do so. And Watanabe misses a rare attempt. These last few moments could be so crucial. Montenegro are now extending their lead to 8. Ivanovic, the man providing the ammunition on that occasion. It is another timeout called with 1:12 left on the clock. And Montenegro lead Japan by 59 points to 51.
That was a big three by Dubljevic, like you said. I mean, Japan, they started this quarter incredibly well, but I feel like they've just sort of lost energy as the quarter has gone on.
Number 20, attack. A lot of time with the pull-up. We in the right hand. For find the pull-up to the left and contest. Okay? And protect Shoshi or Yuta.
Well, Derek Needham making an important contribution. 7 assists for him so far. It's more than anybody else on court. More than half of the assists created by Montenegro in this game. And particularly early on, his impact was so important, wasn't it?
Yeah, only averaging just over four assists a game, so I thought he's done it, like you said, especially early on in the game. In the first quarter, he was out getting his teammates involved, and they were knocking down shots. And again, you know, I know this is only the second game that we've been able to watch Japan live, but I don't know about you. Every time they call a timeout, it seems like their coach is only talking about defense. Like, you need to do this, you need to know this, you need to get better at this.
3-point shot, no good. Montenegro wrestle control, Radoncic. Dubljevic. Ivanovic. Vucevic goes for the 2, knocks it down. And Montenegro have that 10-point lead back again. Put them in a really strong position at the end of the third quarter, unless Japan can produce something here in the closing seconds. A couple of seconds different between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Watanabe looking to go it alone. Can't bank that one in. A couple of seconds left here. Needham will look to throw it before the buzzer goes. He wasn't able to do that. Neither was Ivanovic. So it is a 10-point lead at the start of the final quarter here in what is the last game at the FIBA World Cup for Japan and Montenegro. It is Japan 51, Montenegro 61.
Neither team shooting the ball well from three-point range. I mean, Japan 0%, 0 for 11. Montenegro shooting the ball a little bit better than Japan overall. I really think it has to do with being aggressive, and we saw early in that third quarter, I think Japan was more aggressive. They got to the free throw line a few times. You know, they had nine free throws in the first half. 9 free throw attempts, sorry, and now they have 19 free throw attempts. So they were really aggressive, and then they sort of went away from that. But, you know, like you said, both these teams, this is their last game. You have 10 minutes left of game in the FIBA Basketball World Cup. You kind of give it all you have. This game is not out of reach for Japan. Montenegro led the entire time, more or less, until the last 3 minutes against Turkey. So, you know, that's something that they want to make up for. I think they missed out on what would have been their first win there. This is your chance to get a win at your first ever country's win at a World Cup. as far as Japan goes, you want to finish on a good note. You know you have a lot of building to do until next year's Olympics, and right now you have 10 minutes left to kind of show what you're made of.
Well, we shall see whether Japan can find that little bit of inspiration. They have cut the 10-point deficit already once in this game. Haven't yet led, although in that third quarter they were able to tie the game. Certainly had Montenegro on the ropes for a while. And gradually, Zvezdan Mitrovic's team were able to re-establish their control of this contest. 10 minutes away from a first ever World Cup win. Montenegro, they lead by 10, 61-51. Japan need a fast start here in the fourth. There's Tanaka. Dubljevic claiming the rebound. Derek Needham. To add to the 7 assists he has already, and that's exactly what he's done. Needham to Vucevic. It's a combination that is tried and tested, and it provides the 2-pointer for Montenegro once again. Good defense again there from Montenegro. Foul drawn as well. Frustration for Julia Lamas, former Argentina head coach.
Coached professionally in Spain for a few seasons in the early 2000s, notably Real Madrid, famous football team, but also a very famous basketball team.
Vucevic, Needham. Nice work by Radoncic there just to help it on its way. Missed 3-point attempt though. As you mentioned, the 3-point shooting's not been particularly impressive from either side in this game. 5 from 24 for Montenegro, none from 11 for Japan.
Only 5 free throw attempts for Montenegro. That being said, Japan
Watanabe initially did well to prevent that ball going back.
Japan are leading this statistical category in this year's World Cup of how many fouls they commit per game, and it's just over 13, which is not a lot of fouls. Which, if you're a coach, and Coach Lames of Japan, you have to use your fouls. You have to be aggressive. I think it's, you know, how many fouls you have a game is also a part of being aggressive defensively.
Don't play with Daiki for the left. Play for the right. Okay. Right now, I tell again, Utah, and Nick here, and on. Let's go. Now, play this. Don't call. Attack. Nick is coming here to the dark team. And Utah for drive. Okay? We can play this too.
Is he slipping or is he popping? Is he popping? Okay. Let's go.
Slip two. You read. Slip two. Reach in this side.
Zvezdan Mitrovic's team lead by 12 now. Vucevic. Dubljevic did well to hold it. Lovely pass, great play. All about the assist there from Dubljevic. 14-point lead for Montenegro. Udai Baba. Oh, rejected. Another block for Radoncic. Japan can go again here with Watanabe, and laid up and in by Yudai Baba. Well, they got a second opportunity there, following the block from Radoncic. It's his fourth of the game. Vucevic for Needham. Given away by Montenegro. Yudai Baba again, lovely layup. Baba making his contribution in the last few moments. Japan back to within 10.
7 minutes left, a lot of time left. I mean, if you can force Montenegro into tough shots or turnovers, get out and run.
Points scored from the last couple of turnovers for Japan, which is encouraging as Vucevic goes for the three and knocks it down.
He's just so smooth and casual, really. I mean, he's never getting flustered. He's not trying to do too much.
This is Yudai Baba. Ando. Looks for Fazekas, manages to get it out to Tanaka, who puts up the shot just in time. No touch on the rim. No shot clock violation. And a 13-point lead still for Montenegro. There's that block from Radoncic, 4 in the game, hosting his very own block party here in Dongguan. It's another turnover, and given away. Ando was steaming in, he just got a little too close to Tanaka. Montenegro getting away with one there and almost punishing. They have punished them. Radoncic there to grab the rebound and put it away. Yudai Baba out to the corner. Ando for 3, no good. Dubljevic claiming the rebound, and here's Ivanovic for Montenegro. Throws it up to Radoncic, who couldn't quite hold it. Elliott pass attempted. Nothing on the end of that for Montenegro, but a 15-point lead. They've really established control once again.
Montenegro have done a good job every time Japan have kind of gone on a little bit of a run. They've been able to weather the storm and then go on a run themselves. You know, all coaches talk about how basketball is a game of runs, and it's really how you respond to a run and how you're able to, you know, after that team has the run, get a few consecutive stops in a row and a few consecutive scores.
Yudai Baba. Watanabe floats it up, gets it into the 30s. To Watanabe. Needham. Vucevic. Played by Watanabe again. Rebound this time. And Japan's standout player this afternoon. Yudai Baba. Fazekas steps inside and then lost control. It does draw the foul.
And I think the Montenegrin coaching staff trying to get an explanation as to why it's 2 shot attempts. Sorry, 2 free throw attempts. And they were saying that he was in, here we'll take a look. So there's a foul. They were saying he was in his shooting motion. I mean, I don't think Fazekas is going up for a dunk, so that might be his shooting, you know.
Knocks it down. Another double-digit game for Nick Fazekas. Influence hasn't been as significant as it was a couple of days ago. Here's Derek Needham. Vucevic. Tanaka. Looping in front of Needham to claim that one. This is Sayerando. And Fazekas for the three. No good. Needham again. Finding Popovic. And Popovic going for the layup. From Japan, Yudai Baba. Ando wants it on the near side here, but it's been turned over. Dubljevic to Popovic. And Montenegro can slow things down again. Here is Needham. Three-point attempt. Still the three-point shooting, not quite what it should be from Montenegro. 1 from 8 for Derek Needham. He's got 8 assists. The shooting's not quite been what it is normally.
Really tough call on Wanatabi there. I mean, that's really, I think it's a correct call by the referee, but the problem is his teammate shouldn't have passed him the ball to put him in that kind of a situation, because he couldn't see the defender, the Montenegrin player who was right there already on him. So kind of was just put in a tough situation, and then that's another turnover for Japan there. They have 16 turnovers so far. There you see the leaders from Montenegro, but Japan with 16 turnovers. They're averaging throughout this tournament under 14 a game, so, and I feel like at least half of their turnovers were unforced turnovers, meaning it wasn't because of Montenegro's stellar defense that they turned the ball over. They were just careless or made the wrong decision, and that's why they turned it over. So, you know, those are things that you need to work on moving forward to be able to compete at this level.
It's going to take a big effort here from Japan to get things back on track. 11 points down. Montenegro are less than 4 minutes away from that elusive first ever World Cup win. Yelitsa leaves it for Derek Needham. The three-point attempt is good this time. Dubljevic knocks down his second three of the game. Another blow to the Japanese.
Yeah. It's had 2 big threes for them in the second half here, in the fourth quarter actually for them, I think. So that was a big blow, like you said. 3.5 minutes left, and you give up a 3 when it was only an 11-point game.
Oh, there it is again. Doncic appearing out of nowhere. That is 5 blocks for Doncic in this game, which I think is a joint high for the tournament so far. Ivanovic. Another foul called. Second highest block total for a game so far. 3 behind Salah Mejri of Tunisia. Used 8 against Angola. Mejri also managed 5 against Iran as well. He has the best and the second best in terms of blocks per game. Second best along with Rudy Gobert and now Radoncic as well. Less than 3 minutes to go here.
I think that's a good call by the refs.
Three-point attempt from the corner, no good. Kiyashima missing. Still haven't hit a three in this game. Another foul called. A trip to the line for Bojan Dubljevic. He becomes the third Montenegrin to move into double digits for the game. 10 points, 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Well, Dubljevic has had a good impact off the bench today. Baba. Kiyajima. That's another great bit of defense there from Montenegro. This is really similar to the early phase of the game when Montenegro were just preventing Japan. From establishing themselves. Chance here for the three from Ivanovic, and he knocks it down. And that defensive effort is paying off. A total of 10 blocks in this game, which is a joint high in the tournament. It has made a huge impact on the game, and the three-pointers that Montenegro have been hitting in this fourth quarter have also just helped to what is looking like now the first World Cup win.
Montenegro with already 3 three-pointers in this quarter, and they had actually only hit 5 at the end of the third quarter, so clearly their outside shots going in, and they're just pulling away and making it difficult for this Japanese team to pull off a win.
Hold up. Attack, okay? Attack to me, guys. Easily, Yuta. Hand off, Yuta. Yuta, hand over. Maybe you can play the hand off and go. Moskasara. Oh, hand over. Oh, if not, play, come and give the ball in
There you see from both teams during that timeout the high scores. Vucevic with the 18 points so far. Just doing it from everywhere, really. I mean, he's also had some nice passes, some good looks. I thought defensively he's been pretty solid.
Watanabe gets it back again, finds a way through the middle, draws the foul, and will be back on the line once more. Try and maintain his perfect record from free throws, 10 from 10.
He's an exciting player. I really, you know, he's young, early 20s. He's going to have a long career for this national team, also professionally.
Nope. Free throw shooting has been exceptional from him. 12 from 12, 21 from 23 for Japan overall. Much, much higher than their tournament averages. Doncic goes all the way, looking to throw down the one-handed dunk. He has drawn the foul, and he'll take a trip to the line instead.
And to me, that's just disappointing defense on the part of Japan. I mean, that was after a made free throw.
Well, 2 free throws missed there by Doncic. Here's Iajima. Couldn't get it to go. Japan still trailing by 17. So got away from them a bit in this fourth quarter. Good game management from Montenegro. Three-point shooting improved dramatically as well, which has really helped their development in this game. Good break here though from Japan, and there's Watanabe with a dunk.
And with that 34 points from him, he has just tied the tournament record for most points in a game. You kind of want to see him get 2 more now, don't you?
Let's see if he can do it. He might get the chance now. Watanabe's up there with Yudai Baba, but he's gone for it himself and makes it. Good layup from Baba.
I'm not sure his teammates know this. Maybe it's just you and I and the people watching that are aware of this statistic, but what a great game for him. I mean, even if he ends up with 34, to tie the record of most points so far in the contest.
He's 1 rebound away from a double-double as well. It's thrown down by Doncic. No mistake from him this time.
And it's not going to happen, folks. He does look a little sore, and he is coming out.
Takeuchi. Ando. Yudai Baba. Can't get it to go. And Montenegro, I think, will just let the clock run down as they get ready to celebrate what is their first ever win at a World Cup. Montenegro get the victory. Their first ever appearance on the world stage. And a memorable and comprehensive win as well. They have beaten Japan by a total of 15 points, 80 points to 65. A big day in the history of Montenegrin basketball.
Yeah, you said it, Oscar. I mean, to be a part of this team that just made history for your country, let alone playing in the tournament. I mean, they made history today by getting the first ever World Cup win for the country of Montenegro at a FIBA World Basketball event. So that's, you know, that's something that you're always going to remember, and you know, you get to carry that with you even long after you retire from the sport. So, you know, that's something really memorable for the 12 players for Montenegro and the coaching staff. Japan, I think, obviously, you know, the standout performance, is Watanabe. He was absolutely spectacular today. Just his ability to score from all over the court. There you see the percentages, 49% compared to just 38. 0 for 16, it's a little troublesome. I mean, you can't win a game if that's what you're shooting. Rebounding, slight advantage for Montenegro. Turnovers, 18 to just 14. 18 turnovers, that's, you know, more than five more than Japan has averaged It's not a good thing, and I don't think it was because of Montenegro's defense. There you see the 34 points, which is a tie for tournament high at this year's FIBA World Cup. Vucevic again, 18 points, and you know, I said it during the game, it doesn't even look like he's playing at the highest level that he could play at either, and he's still able to do that, so that just shows you how good he is. I think moving forward, you know, Montenegro have to be proud of what they were able to do here at this tournament. Maybe it wasn't, you know, what you expect. You always go in thinking that you're going to win because you have to have that confidence. Japan, I think there's a lot that they can learn from this, and you know, a lot that they need to fix and work on moving into next summer's Olympics in Tokyo.
Yeah, big year ahead for Japanese basketball. Plenty for them to take away from this tournament. For Montenegro, it was about making history. Obviously, as you say, they did come to give a good account of themselves and to try and win every single game. And they certainly showed some impressive moments in this second phase after losing their first three group games. There was the defeat to Turkey, which was a game really they'll feel they should have won. Maybe played well enough to get the victory. But overall, a pretty pleasing couple of days for Montenegro. For Japan, as you say, it's those individual performances, and we've seen it over the last couple of days, two different players, and you know, Hachimura showed glimpses of what he's capable of as well in the first phase. It's really important now that those big players who produced big moments over the last few days, that they now take that forward, do it on a more consistent basis, and maybe try and, you know, bring those performances together at the same time and make Japan a bit more of a force.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they did have two other players score in double figures, Baba with 11 and Fazekas with 10. It's not a lot, but you know, like I said, I think you really need to have at least 4. You would like 5 players scoring in double figures if you want to be a team that can compete on the world stage. I'm talking about obviously Hachimura. You know, he needs help, and we weren't able to see him these last 2 days because of a knee injury. So they do have a lot of positives to think about, like you said, moving forward. But there you have it.
So there it is. It is all over for Japan and Montenegro. Japan will finish bottom of the group with no wins. Montenegro in third, having got their first victory here today. Turkey and New Zealand will battle it out for top spot, and maybe Olympic qualifying on the line as well in that one. So a big game to look forward to a little bit later on. We'll be back with that one. But for now, it is goodbye.
means a lot to play for a country.
日本代表渡辺裕太選手です。まずはお疲れ様でした。あ
りがとうございます。
この大会0勝5敗という成績を終えましたけれども、今の心境いかがでしょうか。
もうこれが現実です。正直僕たち自身も世界と戦えるという自信を持ってきましたし、